Here we go. You can read through that. My plan was to head north to a town called Isola, had to pass through another town, etc., etc. We'd only a contact drive us. He was slightly wounded on his left hand. I was shot in the right leg and cannot walk at the moment. I will be treated by a doctor and nurse who are to come to where we are staying soon. I had retrieved my cell phone before we escaped in order to call for help. Now, that would have been the stupidest move ever, because everybody knows you can track anybody through their cell phone. So why just piss off? Anyway, here we go. The description: Giuseppe was shot 8 times. From what I saw, it looked as if he was shot 3 times in the heart, twice in the head, and another 3 times around his rib cage. Apparently, now this is where it's really stupid. Apparently, the detective is well aware of how to use a gun, that dirty bastard. Well, that sounds like the detective, you know, like blowing his own horn there. In terms of the whereabouts of dear Giuseppe's body, like, who talks like that? I believe the inspectors working with Detective John Eleanora had taken it with them. And cleaned up the blood in order for people not to notice. Like, what about the 10 shots? He was killed on the road while running, as the car had gotten stuck in a ditch. But we later got the car out when we saw the map of the road. Completely flat, no ditches. He died screaming in Italian, Brian, let it go lightly, Marshall is the Lord Jesus Christ, almighty and everlasting. Never before in my life have I witnessed such loyalty and trust, even to a man one has never been. I myself now believe that Brian Marshall is God. Like, all very sus. You can see the posting. That was all posted, all in 1 minute.
So he never mentioned what his name was the whole time?
No, the whole time, no.
That's very sus as well.
Yeah, it is, totally. So, you know, of course, I see that, and I immediately burst into crying, wailing. And because it's a horrible thing to, it's the last thing, I think I said to you a couple of days ago, didn't I? If anything happens to Giuseppe, yeah. Anyway, so here it is. Go through the conversation and see, like, already he's got things so organised. I will leave his account on for people to pay their respects. Like, let's hurry this up. And he immediately asks, you know, at 12:13, he says, Mrs. Martha, I want you to do a web video of a memorial service that you can do in honour of Giuseppe. I'll send you a picture of him. You know, this is all within minutes. You know, so yes, okay. I just found it on the internet. I have this picture at home as well. So where is home? Like, supposedly they were supposed to be at his house, but it was a place found by Francis. Yeah. Anyway, this is where I say, well, we've recorded the immediate announcement. We'll use this for the next one. So that was the one that we uploaded this morning, you know, shock and horror. However, once we did, it was like, wait on. None of this is adding up. So, we talk about the end time witnesses, prophecy, all kinds of things. Please light a candle. Yes, okay. You told your husband's email. I sent a simple funeral card. Oh, well, then you can see here the end of that conversation, 12:45 p.m. I sent a simple funeral card. And then the next contact, because we've said stay offline, is at 1:55. So it's an hour and 10 minutes later. And then there's the head turning up at the door. Oh my God, I can't look. By this time, we've gone, wait on it. So I say bullshit. And then you notice it drops from, you know, screaming case down to serious exclamation mark. Like, yeah, that's when I go, yeah, right, tell Eleanora to fuck off. He says, oh, way ahead of you. I hate that name. Then I say the bullshit letter all timing out. What are you talking about? Now, I say the letter you posted about the death of chat, all the distances make it impossible to have occurred. And then I say, you are not his friend, you are one of them. And then he says it only takes 13 minutes to get from Avola to Casabili, which can all be determined by Google Maps. That's how everybody gets their driving distances and time. That's what we did. I say, you said you made it to Isola because we're still thinking it's over the other side of the island. I just love for my friend to know, not this morning. So this is the conversation going on and on. I say, where are you? Isola is 291 kilometres from Casabili. He says, Isola, and I'm being prepared to go to a hospital. Then he says, yes, we came back faster, and I don't know what that means. Then I say, Isola is 291 kilometres from Avola. Now, if you knew the area right there, you would say, wait on, there's two Isolas. There's one on the other side of the island, yes, but that's not the one I'm talking about. Then he says, do you know how fast we were going? And I say, 1 hour and 15 minutes, impossible. Then he says, we were being hunted down. And then I say, and you had the letter posted? These are small Sicilian towns. There is no traffic. I said, the card made and you were shot in the leg and you were in a ditch all in 75 minutes and you get to Isola because I'm still thinking it's 291 kilometres away. He says, yes, I did. I sent it from a rectory. Where was the rectory? He says, in Isola. All Italian churches have rectories. The priest was living there. I said, how can you get 291 kilometres in 75 minutes with all that happened? Then he says, however, I may have made a mistake in the time. I said, we left. I said, no, we have the record. This end of when I last talked to Giuseppe this morning, our time talked. How did you observe all that you say you saw, then get the car out all in 75 minutes when I last spoke to Giuseppe? Then he goes on about a priest who's never met, just died crying your husband's name. And you questioned my near-death experience as well. I said, you do the math. Giuseppe last spoke with us at 2:48 a.m. your time. All these typos all over there. Then he apologised, I'm a bit angry. I say, and then 75 minutes later, you say he was gunned down at 3:45 your time. Then it took you 20 minutes only to get to Isola from Casabili. I say impossible because we're still thinking it's 290 kilometres away. He says around 3:45. I said, understand, we are getting to the bottom of all the anomalies. 180 miles, because he said we were doing 65 miles per hour. You know, like that's travelling fast. At 65 miles per hour would take you 2.67 hours without the shooting and the ditch, etc. Then he talks about his poor family. I said, we spoke with Giuseppe this morning, and 75 minutes later, you come online with a letter full of holes, and you were supposed to have made it 180 miles in 75 minutes with all going down that you say, no, not possible, any part of it. I'm crying right now. I told you I made errors. I get it. I said, and then we talk about zooming on the roadway, and there are no ditches anywhere. It's all flat. Well, who do you think lives there, huh? Who's occupying those houses? I say, who then? I read his emails to you. Both knew that Eleonora knew what we were doing. They probably had their men occupying it. You wouldn't believe the shit we went through. House arrest for 9 fucking days. They planned this. The things these guys are capable of. Oh, heck, I don't know what we're up against. I said this morning's conversation with Giuseppe, was that him? You guys should instead try to think of your strategies when you get to Rome, instead of focusing on an error I made in the letters. Screw it then, if you don't like it, with all due respect. I should have taken the bullets for him. I said, do you understand it is the timing of all? Not possible for you to go through all in 75 minutes. Forget the letter. If you had not written it, none of it is possible for you to get to Isola and then to communicate with us. Not possible, because we're still thinking it's 290. He says, I called the priest on the way there. I say, is he with you now? And then he talks about being born in Pacino and know most of the priests living in the Archdiocese of Syracuse. And then the priest is scared as fuck, so no, he's not. I'm sorry, apologising. And then that's where I leave it. I just can't go any further with it. So then Michael and Manon, it was actually Manon and Callahan, Michael traced the origin of the transmission of the bullshit death of Giuseppe. Since Francis cannot kill him, the bottom line was all to try and prevent the two of us going to Rome, saying we'll be arrested and all kinds of things. We will not be in Rome. We will be touring Europe until Francis is taken care of by Yahweh's angels, and we will be videoing the second son from all over Europe. When the time of Revelation 11:19 is reached, then we will enter the Vatican. And where is Giuseppe now? Google Earth, those coordinates, and here he is. In jail. Let the world think he's dead. The same with Benedict. Could have a funeral plan for Benedict. Let the world think they're dead, when in fact they're in a private prison. So folks, that's it for tonight. It's been a long, it's 2:35 a.m.
It's been a real roller coaster today.
It's been a roller coaster day. Unbelievable. What will tomorrow bring?
A few more smiles, I hope.
Yeah. So, later, gators.